Hello, it's Mary Jadwisiak coming to you live from Battleground, Washington with yet another fuzzy video. And I don't know how to fix it, so I'm just going to move forward. I hope you all are well. I hope that life is so good to you. It is snowing here in Battleground, which is unusual, but very welcome. It's been snowing now for about 24 hours, off and on, and so it's just nice. It's supposed to keep up for a while too, so I like that. So today, I'm going to talk about another module in the CARES Toolkit. What's the CARES Toolkit? The CARES Toolkit is a a 12 module on-demand training kit that you get all at once, and it's essential skills for peer support specialists. So everything you need to know to be a good peer supporter is in this CARES toolkit. Each module is about an hour long, and the whole thing costs, I think, $150 or $177 all totaled with tax and fees and everything. So it's a really good investment in yourself, and it's very affordable. And it is going to give you not only the training that you get, that 12 video modules, but each one of those modules has massive links to additional resources to help you deepen your understanding of that particular topic. So head on over to carestoolkit.com and check it out, and see if it's something that fits your needs. Now, I want to talk today about advocating for your peers at work. Advocating for your peers. Last week I talked about advocating for yourself. This week I'm going to talk about how do we support the people that we're supporting if they want to have some impact in the services that they're receiving. And I thought about it for a while, and I was like, you know what? There's really only one thing that you need to do to really make a difference and really have an impact for the people that you serve, and that is, drum roll please, be yourself. Right? You have to be yourself. I'm going to use the acronym B. B-E. Last week I used ACE. This week I'm using B. Because here's what I say. You have to be yourself 100% of the time. So often peer supporters come into the workplace from a place of being really oppressed. The Medicaid mental health system can be kind of oppressive. And we lose our own personal power, and we think that there's something wrong with us, and we think that we have to do something different. We have to be something special in order to make a difference. And the truth is that when you try to be something other than who you are, you lose your authority as a peer. It is who you are and what you've done that gives you your authority and your power, and that makes a difference to your coworkers. When you begin to act like you, when you are unapologetic about the skills that you have and the experiences that you've been through, that makes an impact. When you model recovery, your recovery, unapologetically, this is how it is. This is what peer supporters do. Now, of course, when I say unapologetically, I don't mean as a jerk, because we talked yesterday about being a good employee. But part of being a good employee is to just be who you are. Don't try to be clinical. Don't try to use clinical terms and walk like a clinician and talk like a case manager and all those things, because you're not those things. You're a peer supporter. And when you bring your skills as a peer supporter to the conversation, what happens is people begin to look at you differently, and they begin to think differently about recovery. You become a walking, talking example and model of what recovery looks like. And many times, professionals may not have seen that before, because let's face it, we don't go to see professionals when we're looking and doing our best. We go see professionals when we are when we're at our worst, when we are really struggling. That's when they see us. So they may not really understand that recovery is possible. But when we show up at the workplace and we do our work and we bring our voice of recovery, and we bring that voice of our clients, clinical word, the peers that we're supporting, we bring their voice forward, and we begin to just be who we are, that's really powerful. really powerful in the workplace. And so if you're not there, people are going to start to say, well, what would Janie say if she were here? And Janie would say, let's see what this person can do. Let's bring self-determination into this. Are we being respectful? Are we fostering hope? Is this trauma informed? Those are the things, those are the questions that you ask. Those are the concepts that you bring forward as a peer supporter. You bring those recovery principles into the workplace. And you may be the first one to do it. Everybody's doing a really good job. You're just doing a really good job differently. And people take notice of that. So the other thing, that's the B in how to advocate for your peers at work. The other thing is E, empower. So we pave the way, kind of, by being who we are and being unapologetic about being a peer and having our own recovery story. And no, you don't need to know what my diagnosis is. Thank you very much. It's none of your business. People seem to think that if we identify as a peer, that gives us fair game, that we have to spill our guts to anybody who asks. You don't. But what we can do is encourage. That's the E in B, is to encourage our peers that we're supporting to also be confident in themselves, to just take risks, to step forward, to ask for what they need. Now, here's the interesting thing about asking for what you need. You have to know what that is, right? And so really helping people to assess what they need. And we talked about that last week with the assessment of looking around and being really thoughtful. So when we assess what we need, and we help our peers to do that, and we give them voice, and we give them tools, and we help them figure out who's the right person to go through, or what's the right path to take to get what I need. You don't want to go to the DMV to pay your property taxes, right? You want to be able, like, for instance, they're taxes, but they're the wrong kind, right? So you want to know, who do I go to get what I need? Well, what is it that you want? And what is it that you need? And what's driving this? And how will you know when you got there? That's so important, because it really helps the people that we're supporting to feel successful. Like, what's it going to look like when you have what you need? Okay, then let's start with this. Let's break down the steps that it's going to take to get there. These are basic things that as a peer supporter, you know. And now you're gonna notice there's nothing in here where I said that you're gonna schedule a meeting with the case manager and go with them. No, not necessarily, right? We're gonna be ourselves in the workplace and help people understand what recovery is. And then we're gonna be ourselves with the people we support and help them to do the same thing, so that they can schedule an appointment, and that they can invite you if they want to and not if they don't. And that we don't do for them, right? As other people have said, sometimes helping is the sunny side of control. It's a cute saying, and I do agree with it. But what we need to know is, how can we help this person clearly identify what they want? Why is that so hard? I don't know. When was the last time you decided what you wanted and went for it? If a person is on Medicaid mental health services, that is not necessarily an option that they have at their disposal. They have learned to live with what they have and to not ever want more, because that is a recipe for disappointment. You just stay in your lane and be grateful for what you have and keep your head down. So when we encourage people to advocate for themselves, we are asking them to take a tremendous risk and become vulnerable. Because when you want something, you have to acknowledge that you might not get it. And when you start to advocate for something, you have to acknowledge that you might not get it. You have to have a plan B. You have to know, okay, so maybe this isn't going to work, but so what else could help you get what you want? What else would it look like? What are some ways that you're going to know that you achieved what you were hoping to achieve? I will tell you, one small step in this area can be a tremendous turn in a person's recovery journey. I will tell you that complaints are an amazingly good thing. If you are a person who is providing services and people file a complaint against you, you should be celebrating, because they have decided that they want something different. They have decided that that they deserve something different, or that they're upset about something, which means that they have stepped away from just taking what they get and they've taken control of their lives. So to me, complaints are a cause for celebration in a person's recovery journey. So be yourself, pave the way, show up authentically, and then encourage your peers to know what they want and to understand where they need to go to get it, and to know what it's going to look like when they have what they want. That is today's Friday Morning Live. I'm Mary Jadwosiak. I'm here at Holding the Hope. I'm so pleased that you decided to join me. If you like this and you're interested in the CARES Toolkit, head on over to carestoolkit.com and check it out. Have a fantastic weekend, and remember, stay hopeful.